The dark side of Turkey, 10 little-known facts. Turkey is a country with a rich history, beautiful nature, and a dynamic culture that attracts millions of tourists every year. But behind the bright postcards and popular attractions, there are also lesser-known, dark aspects of this amazing country. In this article, we will look at 10 facts about Turkey that may not be in the guidebooks. First, illegal hunting of turtles. Illegal turtle hunting in Turkey is a serious environmental problem, especially on the Mediterranean and Aegean coasts, where rare species of sea turtles such as the caretta and green turtles live. These turtles play an important role in maintaining the ecosystems of the seas, regulating the populations of jellyfish and other marine life. Despite the efforts of the authorities and environmental organizations to protect these animals, poaching remains widespread. One of the main targets of poachers are turtle eggs, which are illegally collected and sold as a delicacy. Locals and tourists sometimes do not even realize that they are buying products of illegal origin. In addition, in some regions of Turkey, turtles become victims of illegal fishing, getting entangled in nets, or are damaged by boats that damage their shells. The problem is exacerbated by tourism. The beaches where turtles lay their eggs are often used for recreation, which disrupts their natural breeding cycle. As a result, turtle survival rates are reduced, and some species are at risk of extinction. To solve the problem, not only stricter controls and penalties for poaching are needed, but also educational campaigns for locals and tourists. Second, waste and pollution problems. The problem of pollution and waste in Turkey remains acute, despite efforts to improve the environmental situation. One of the most serious aspects is the improper disposal of household and industrial waste. In large cities such as Istanbul and Ankara, the issue of waste disposal has been partially resolved, but the problem remains in rural areas and along popular tourist routes. In these places, you can see illegal dumps and piles of garbage thrown directly into forests or next to roads. The country's water resources are particularly affected. The coasts of the Aegean and Mediterranean seas, where millions of tourists come every year, are exposed to pollution from plastic waste and chemicals. This not only spoils the natural landscapes, but also causes serious damage to the local ecosystem. Plastic in the seas becomes a threat to marine life, such as dolphins and turtles, which can become entangled in nets or swallow garbage, leading to their death. Another problem is the pollution of rivers and lakes, where industrial waste, including chemicals and petroleum products, is often dumped. As a result, waterways are polluted, the quality of drinking water deteriorates, which affects the health of local residents. Turkey has taken steps to improve its environmental situation in recent years, for example by introducing paid plastic bags and developing waste recycling. However, the problem is still far from being fully resolved. It is necessary to strengthen control over compliance with environmental standards, more actively involve the public in environmental initiatives, and develop green technologies. Third, cruelty to street animals. The problem of stray animals in Turkey, especially in large cities, remains serious and multifaceted. Thousands of stray dogs and cats can be seen on the streets of Istanbul, Ankara, Izmir, and other cities. Despite the love of many Turks for animals, the systems for protecting and helping stray animals are often insufficient, and the problem remains unsolved. Historically, cats and dogs have been an integral part of city life. This is especially true in Istanbul, where cats have been a symbol of the city for centuries, protecting it from rodents. However, with population growth and urbanization, the situation has changed. Many animals end up on the street due to the irresponsible attitude of owners who abandon their pets without being able to care for them. Cruelty to street animals also remains a serious problem. In some areas, cases of poisoning, attacks on dogs and cats, and other acts of violence have been recorded. Animals often become victims of road accidents or become infected with dangerous infections due to the lack of veterinary care. Although Turkey's animal protection legislation has improved in recent years, it still has many gaps. In response to this problem, there are volunteer organizations and activist groups in the country that are trying to change the situation. They sterilize, vaccinate, and treat homeless animals and also organize shelters for them. However, the resources of such organizations are often insufficient to solve the problem systemically. In some cities, local authorities are launching programs to sterilize and vaccinate animals, which helps to reduce their numbers on the streets in a humane way. To solve the problem, comprehensive measures are needed, including both strengthening control over the responsibility of pet owners and state support for sterilization and rehabilitation programs for homeless animals. An important step is also public education to cultivate a respectful attitude towards animals and raise awareness of the problem. Fourth, underground dumps of hazardous substances. Some industrial enterprises in Turkey dispose of toxic waste in violation of environmental regulations. This leads to the formation of illegal dumps with hazardous substances that can cause serious damage to human health and the environment. In addition, groundwater in such areas is polluted, which affects the quality of drinking water. Fifth, child labor in rural areas. Child labor remains a problem in Turkey, especially in rural areas such as southeastern Anatolia. Despite legal prohibitions and international commitments, child labor continues to be widely used, especially in agriculture. Child labor on farms is a legacy of families' economic dependence on agriculture, where children are forced to help with field work to supplement family income. Children often work in conditions that do not meet safety standards. They engage in hard physical work such as picking cotton, tobacco, fruit, or nuts, which not only violates their right to education, but can also cause serious harm to their health. During the hot season, when work is especially intense, children work long hours without adequate conditions, protection from the sun, rest, or access to clean water. One of the reasons for the existence of child labor is poverty. Many families live in conditions where the only way to make ends meet is for all family members, including children, to work. At the same time, children from these families are often deprived of the opportunity to receive a quality education. They either do not attend school at all, or their education is interrupted during the harvest season, which further limits their ability to escape poverty. The situation is particularly acute for migrant and refugee families living in Turkey. These children are even more vulnerable and often end up in worse working conditions. Many of them work in the fields or other industries for extremely low wages, making them victims of exploitation. To improve the situation, active work is needed at all levels, from local authorities working with families on the ground to strengthening control over the observance of children's rights at the national level. It is also important to involve public organizations and strengthen educational campaigns to change attitudes towards the problem and reduce the scale of child labor. Sixth, dangers when picking mushrooms and berries. Mushroom and berry picking is a popular pastime for many in Turkey. However, this tradition is not always safe. Turkey is home to many poisonous mushrooms that can easily be confused with edible ones. Cases of poisoning, sometimes fatal, are recorded every year. In addition, the forests are home to poisonous snakes and other dangerous creatures. Seventh, illegal archaeology. Turkey is rich in archaeological sites, many of which have not yet been explored. This attracts not only scientists, but also illegal treasure hunters. Poaching archaeology is a problem that leads to the loss of cultural treasures, which are taken abroad or destroyed. Often this leads to the destruction of unique artifacts. Eighth, High level of injuries at construction sites. Turkey is actively developing its construction industry, especially in large cities such as Istanbul. However, this industry is characterized by a high level of injuries. Often, workers work in conditions where safety standards are poorly observed, which leads to accidents, often fatal. 9. Turkish tombs in danger. Turkey is home to hundreds of ancient tombs, some of which date back to ancient times. However, many of them are now under threat of destruction. One of the main reasons is soil erosion caused by climate change and human activity. In addition, these monuments sometimes suffer from vandalism and illegal excavations. 10th, secret caves and hidden catacombs. Turkey is a country with a rich cultural and historical heritage, but not all of its secrets lie on the surface. One of the most mysterious aspects of the country are the hidden caves, underground cities, and catacombs, which remain little studied to this day. These ancient underground structures hold centuries-old secrets, and their study is an important task for archaeologists and historians. One of the most famous of these places is the underground city of Derinkuyu in Cappadocia, which was discovered by accident in 1963. This amazing complex has up to 18 levels underground, and scientists still don't know all of its secrets. The city could accommodate up to 20,000 people and was equipped with ventilation shafts, storerooms, stables, and even temples. But Derinkuyu is just one of dozens of similar underground structures hidden underground in Turkey. Many of them remain unexplored to this day. In addition to Cappadocia, caves and catacombs are found in other parts of the country. For example, in the province of Mersin, archaeologists have discovered a network of caves and tunnels, some of which were used as ritual sites or places of refuge in ancient times. These caves contain frescoes carved into the rock, as well as burial sites, indicating their cultural and religious significance. However, access to such sites is often limited, either due to their remoteness or the risk of collapse. Another famous example is the city of Hattusa, the ancient capital of the Hittite Empire, where underground tunnels leading to temples and fortresses have been found. Such structures could have been used as military shelters or storage facilities for treasures. Such cities and tunnels created by ancient civilizations are of great historical and archaeological value, but many of them remain unexplored due to lack of funding or because they have simply not been discovered yet. Turkey is certainly a country of contrasts. Behind its rich culture, warm hospitality, and beautiful landscapes lie problems that tourists, and even residents themselves, do not always think about. Recognizing and understanding these dark sides can help solve many problems and make Turkey's future even brighter and more sustainable. Don't forget about the useful services that we indicate in the pinned comment. Subscribe to the channel, like or dislike. Have a nice holiday, everyone.